They say in Kerala there is a deity who answers before you even finish your prayer. A god born of mystery, neither fully divine nor fully human, who rides a mighty buffalo through the realms of the unseen, wielding a sacred stick, playing an enchanted horn, and seeing through every illusion in the universe. He is the youngest of 316 divine children. He is the protector of the poor and the tormentor of the wicked. He is both feared and beloved. And in this land of coconut trees and monsoon rivers, he is known by two names: Kuttichathan, Vishnumaya. Welcome to one of Kerala's most extraordinary and mystifying temples, the Sri Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy Temple, where the veil between the human world and the divine is said to be the thinnest. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear will fascinate you, unsettle you, and leave you in absolute awe. Who is Vishnumaya Kuttichathan? Before we step inside the temple walls, we must first understand who this remarkable deity truly is. Vishnumaya Kuttichathan, often called simply Kuttichathan, is a Kshetrapala, a guardian deity revered across the Malabar and Thrissur regions of Kerala. The word Kuti in Malayalam means child, and Chathan is an ancient name for a powerful spirit deity. So literally, this is the divine child spirit. He is depicted as a youthful, portly adolescent, a forever young god, riding a massive black buffalo, holding a pair of slender kuruvadi sticks given to him by Mother Parvati herself. On his right palm there is a distinctive mark, the broomgom, the beetle, a symbol of his greatest victory over darkness. He plays the ejada, a mystical horn, as he roams the cosmic forests. His eyes, bright and luminous, see through every deception, every illusion, every act of black magic. What makes Vishnumaya unique among all Kerala deities is his dual nature. He is simultaneously the son of Lord Shiva and an earthly tribal child, giving him a profound connection to both the heavens and the suffering masses below. He is worshipped as the fusion of Vishnu's preserving grace and Maya's illusory power, a deity who operates entirely in the realm of the unseen. And it is precisely this connection to the mystical, the hidden, and the magical that makes his temples unlike any other in India. The extraordinary birth story. To understand Kuttichathan, we must go back to the very beginning, to the sacred peaks of Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati reside. One day, Lord Shiva, accompanied by his attendant Bhutaganas, descended from Kailash to wander through the deep forests of earth. He took with him his favorite hunting dog and went deep into the wilderness. There, in a sunlit clearing of that ancient forest, he encountered a woman of breathtaking beauty named Koolivaka, a tribal woman whose voice alone was said to carry the melody of heaven. Lord Shiva, taken by her presence, was immediately drawn to her. But Koolivaka was frightened. She prayed desperately to Goddess Parvati for protection and guidance. Parvati appeared before her in a vision, and what the goddess revealed was extraordinary. She told Koolivaka that in her past life she had secretly nursed the infant Bala Ganapati, the child Ganesha, and because of this act done without permission, she had been cursed to be reborn on earth. But Parvati promised her something remarkable in return. In your next birth upon this earth, you shall have the divine fortune of nurturing the children of Shiva himself. And so, Goddess Parvati, the divine strategist, the Great Mother, made a profound decision. She herself took the form of Koolivaka and went to meet Lord Shiva. From this mystical, cosmic union, the union of Shiva with Parvati disguised as Koolivaka, not one, not two, but 316 extraordinary children were born. These children were the Chatanmar, the divine spirits. Among them, the eldest was Kuttichathan, dark, fierce, powerful, and the youngest, the last born, the one who carried the most extraordinary qualities of all, was Vishnumaya Kuttichathan. Parvati gave the youngest child a buffalo as his vehicle, the great black animal that would become his eternal companion. The children grew up under Koolivaka's loving care. The journey to Kailash, how he became Vishnumaya. As Kuttichathan grew, a deep longing stirred within him, a desire to see his father, the great Lord Shiva. With his foster mother's blessing, he set out for the divine realm of Kailash, riding his magnificent buffalo. But when he reached the great gates of Kailash, Nandi, the sacred bull and devoted guardian of Shiva, stopped him firmly. No one, Nandi declared, could enter without divine permission. Not even this remarkable child. Kuttichathan thought carefully. Then, using his innate magical powers, he transformed himself into the very form of Lord Vishnu, the great preserver of the universe. Disguised as Vishnu, he walked through the gates of Kailash and stood before his father Shiva. When Shiva emerged from his deep meditation and saw this child before him, this child who had taken the form of Vishnu, using nothing but his own divine Maya, he was filled with wonder. He placed his sacred hands upon the child's head and pulled him close. Then Shiva declared for all the universe to hear, "This child who took the form of Vishnu through his own Maya shall henceforth be known as Vishnumaya. He shall go to earth and be the great protector of the afflicted. He shall stand between the suffering devotee and the darkness that surrounds them." And thus, Kuttichathan received his divine title, Vishnumaya, the one whose Maya became Vishnu. The slaying of Brumgasura, his greatest battle. But Kuttichathan's destiny was not simply to offer blessings. He had a cosmic mission, a battle that only he could fight. Brumgasura, the demon of wrath, was the son of Shiva who had obtained a terrible boon from Lord Brahma, that he could not be killed by any weapon in existence. With this invincibility, he terrorized the three worlds, destroying the righteous and the innocent. One day, as Kuttichathan rode through the forest on his buffalo, playing his beloved Ejara horn, he encountered the great sage Narada. And Narada revealed to him the truth of his destiny, the reason he had been born, the purpose of all his powers. He was to slay Brumgasura, not with a weapon, but with his Maya. Kuttichathan raced back to Kailash, received his father's final blessing, and then descended to face the demon. He transformed himself, shape-shifted as only he could, into a form that no weapon could define. And in an act of cosmic power beyond description, he defeated Brumgasura. To commemorate this victory, Brumgam, the beetle, was forever marked upon his right palm. Every idol of Lord Vishnumaya you will see in any temple carries this mark. It is the mark of the demon slayer, the mark of the one who protects. Now that we know who this deity is, let us walk into the sacred world of his most famous temples in Kerala. The Sri Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy temples of Kerala are not ordinary shrines. They are living, breathing spiritual centers rooted in Dravidian and tribal traditions that predate many of Kerala's mainstream temple practices. These temples evolved from the sacred Kavu, the sacred grove, a distinctly Kerala tradition of worshipping deities within forested, natural spaces. The Kanadikavu temple, Peringottukara, Thrissur. Among the most ancient is the Kanadikavu Shree Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy temple, located in Peringottukara, about 20 kilometers southwest of Thrissur city, in the very heartland of Kerala's cultural heritage. This temple stands as the last stronghold of the Asarans, an ancient community with deep Dravidian roots. The history of this site spans over 400 years, and it is considered among the oldest and most powerful Vishnumaya temples in all of India. The story of this temple's founding is extraordinary. A sage named Koonamuthappan, a deeply devout man of immense spiritual power, understood something profound, that in the age of Kaliyuga, in this difficult, turbulent era in which we live, humanity needed a protector, a deity who was approachable, a deity who was powerful yet compassionate, a deity who could move swiftly and effectively to help the suffering. And so, Koonamuthappan undertook a rigorous, demanding penance to please the family goddess. She appeared before him, impressed by his devotion, and gave him two sacred gifts: the Mula Mantram, the root mantra to summon Chatan Swamy, and the Dhyana Mantram for daily worship. Armed with these divine tools, Koonamuthappan traveled to the Himalayas. Following the guidance of the Naga sages, the ancient serpent sages of the mountains, he entered into a deep and severe penance in those frozen heights. And Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy appeared before him. The sage returned from the Himalayas to Peringottukara with the deity, and at the very spot where the Kannadi family now resides, he consecrated and installed Vishnumaya Chatan Swamy. The Kannadi family has protected and served this temple for over 4 centuries. The Karuvanur Karanayil Devasthanam, Thrissur. Another supremely ancient temple is the Karuvanur Karanayil Devasthanam, situated in Thrissur. This temple is considered by many devotees to be the ancestral home of Lord Sri Vishnumaya Swamy himself. Established over 400 years ago by the great-grandfather of the current Devasthanadipati, the temple head, this institution has kept its secrets and its rituals jealously guarded within one family, passed from generation to generation like a sacred flame. What makes this temple extraordinary, even among Vishnumaya shrines, is that Lord Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy, along with Gurumuthappan and Machil Bhagavati, are said to reside literally within the home Srikovil, the inner sanctum that is part of the family's living quarters. The deity lives with the family. The family lives with the deity. There is no separation. The Kaliyuga Shree Vishnumaya Temple, Palakkad. In Palakkad, on the sacred banks of the Nila, the Bharathapuja River, stands the Kaliyuga Shree Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy Kshetram. This temple was founded by the renowned astrologer and devotee Kaliyuga Velayudan, a man deeply connected to the traditions of Valuvanad. Sri Velayudan Pujari brought the deities to the banks of the Nila and consecrated them there, creating a spiritual home for devotees along this most sacred of Kerala's rivers. His descendants continue to uphold every ritual and tradition to this day. The temple Thantri, the chief ritualist, is the revered Mudakal Mana Subramanyam Nambuthiri from Thiruvillwamala, who oversees the most sacred pujas of the year, the Black Magic Connection. And now, the aspect that draws perhaps the most fascination and the most controversy surrounding Vishnumaya temples, the connection to black magic. Let us speak of this with honesty, with cultural respect, and with open eyes. Vishnumaya is, by his very nature, the deity of Maya, of illusion, of the unseen world, of mystical forces. In Kerala's ancient tantric traditions, he is described as the supreme master of magical powers. This is not a later addition. It is at the very core of his mythology. The temples dedicated to him have, for centuries, served two distinct but related functions. First, and most importantly, protection from black magic. Devotees who believe they are victims of Kaivisham, the evil eye, or that enemies have employed dark rituals against them, their families, or their businesses, come to Vishnumaya temples seeking deliverance. The belief is profound and ancient, that Vishnumaya, as the master of Maya, can see and dismantle any negative mystical force. There is no black power strong enough to stand before Vishnumaya. He sees through every illusion because illusion itself is his nature. Second, and more complex, these temples have historically been associated with tantric practitioners who sought to harness Kuttichathan's energy for worldly purposes. Tantric traditions in Kerala describe Kuttichathan as having been worshipped by magicians and healers who used his power to protect their communities, grow their wealth, and overcome enemies. Folk stories describe families like the Velakat lineage, whose founder, a powerful magician named Kunjivelu, was said to have bound Kuttichathan's energy to his bloodline, ensuring prosperity for his descendants in exchange for continuous worship and offering. The Poojas, specifically designed to address black magic and negative energy at these temples, are intense, elaborate, and deeply secretive. They involve the use of Guruthi, a powerful offering involving sacred liquids representing blood sacrifice, offered to invoke the deity's fiercest protective aspect. Karumaduram, dark sacred rituals involving specific ingredients placed at the temple's four corners to seal the premises against negative entry. And the Niyogam, a direct divine consultation where the deity is said to speak through the temple head, revealing the root cause of a devotee's affliction and prescribing the precise ritual cure. At the Karuvanur Karanayal Devasthanam, the Niyogam takes place every single day at noon. Devotees who cannot travel to the temple can even share their problems by telephone, and the Devasthanatipati will carry their petition directly to the Lord. Whether one views these practices through a devotional, folkloric, or anthropological lens, what is undeniable is this. For countless thousands of Kerala families across many generations, these temples have provided solace, meaning, and a sense of powerful divine protection that no other shrine quite replicates. Local folklore and miraculous tales. The legend of the Thrissur kingdom. Ancient Kerala was a land of warring kingdoms, and one of the most dramatic stories connected to Vishnumaya Kuttichathan involves the Thrissur kingdom, a princely republic of the Cochin state. The Thrissur kingdom had suffered defeat after defeat in its wars with neighboring states. The king, desperate, sought the most powerful help he could find. He turned to a commander from the Chirikal Koolivaka, a man of legendary military strength named Koonamuthappan. But Koonamuthappan knew that military skill alone was insufficient. He sought divine guidance, and following the counsel he received, he undertook a severe penance to summon Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Swamy. The Swami appeared. Koonamuthappan returned to Thrissur, and from that day forward, the kingdom won every single battle it fought. The neighboring states were annexed one by one. Thrissur became formidable and feared. The red-hot iron chain that Konacharyan wore upon his body during a famous ceremony became a symbol of Vishnumaya's ferocity, a ritual still referenced in temple lore to this day. The Thriprayar connection. In the Thrissur region, there is a remarkable living tradition connecting the Kanadikavu temple to the great Thriprayar Sri Rama temple. Local belief holds that Hanuman Swamy and Kuttichathan Swamy stand as eternal guardians at the gates of the Thriprayar temple's sanctum sanctorum, even though no dedicated idols exist for them there. Their presence, devotees say, is invisible but absolute. When the Lord of Thriprayar is taken in the grand procession to the Arathupuza Puram, one of Kerala's most spectacular elephant festivals, the procession stops at Kanadikavu for the customary para offering. From the moment that para is offered until the Lord of Thriprayar returns to his own temple the following day, all Poojas at Kanadikavu are suspended. Because, devotees believe, Chathan Swamy himself has gone with the Lord of Thriprayar for the duration of the journey. The deity does not sit and wait. He walks with his Lord. The Shabarimala pilgrimage tradition. For pilgrims undertaking the sacred journey to Shabarimala, the hill shrine of Lord Ayyappa, there is a centuries-old custom that is still followed by thousands every year. Before departing for Shabarimala, especially during the auspicious period from the start of Vrishikam through Makara Samkramam, devotees travel first to the Sri Vishnumaya Kuttichathan Kavu to seek the Swami's protection for the journey. Let Kuttichathan watch over the path, the old devotees say. Then the journey to Ayyappa is safe. The miracle stories across Kerala, miraculous stories associated with these temples, have traveled by word of mouth for generations. Families speak of businesses that had collapsed, suddenly restored after temple pujas, of marriages that seemed impossible, suddenly arranged, of long-lost loved ones who returned, of serious illnesses that baffled doctors but yielded to the deity's grace. One of the most commonly shared stories is that of recovered money, debts owed for years, suddenly repaid without explanation after a Vishnumaya puja. The deity is specifically said to have a power over financial transactions that have stalled or been deliberately blocked. The sacred pujas and rituals. Now let us enter the sacred realm of ritual, the heart of what these temples actually do every day for their devotees. Roopakalam, the living portrait. Of all the rituals associated with Vishnumaya temples, none is more visually spectacular or spiritually significant than the Roopakalam. Roopakalam is a ritual floor art, a living portrait of the deity created directly on the ground using multicolored herbal and organic powders. The image depicts Lord Vishnumaya and sometimes his eternal companion Kuttichathan in elaborate, intricate detail. Once the Roopakalam is complete, the priest, always a family member carrying the lineage of the temple, performs a puja at the kalam according to ancient tantric rites, invoking the living presence of the Lord directly into the image. Then comes the most dramatic moment, a sacred ritual dance around the kalam, accompanied by wild, frenetic traditional music. The dancer moves with increasing intensity until the deity is considered to have fully entered the space. Finally, the priest erases the kalam using coconut palm leaves. The sacred colored powder is then distributed among all the assembled devotees, a prasad of profound power. Devotees believe that simply witnessing the Roopakalam of Vishnumaya removes every obstacle they have been facing in life. Guruthi, the fierce offering. Guruthi is one of the most powerful and ancient rituals associated with Vishnumaya worship. Every Tuesday at noon at the Kanadikavu temple, Guruthi is offered to all 390 Kuttichathans enshrined there. The ritual involves a sacred mixture, water, turmeric, and other consecrated ingredients combined to create a liquid offering that symbolically represents the life force itself. This offering is made to invoke the deity's fiercest protective aspect, the side of Vishnumaya that actively destroys negative energies and malevolent forces. Thiravellattu, the circle of fire. The Thiravellattu, literally the surrounding light, is a special Shaktiya puja in which oil lamps are arranged in a sacred circle around the main idol. This ritual is performed for spiritual protection, the removal of negative energies, and the purification of the devotee's aura. Brahmavalaktu Karmam. This is a complex tantric ritual performed for the removal of doshas, cosmic flaws or curses that may be affecting a devotee's life. It is one of the more elaborate and secretive pujas of the Vishnumaya tradition, conducted by priests trained specifically in its methodology. Nitya Puja, the daily offering. Every day, the temple follows a disciplined schedule of worship. The gates open at 5:30 in the morning, with the first puja at 8:30 a.m. and the second at 10:30 a.m. The afternoon session opens at 4:30 p.m. and concludes with the Deeparadhana, the lamp offering, at 7 p.m. The daily rhythm of these rituals is considered as important as any special ceremony. It is the continuous spiritual pulse of the temple. Other important pujas. Other significant offerings include the Niramala, a floral offering of great beauty and devotional significance. The Vitu, a home offering ritual performed to bring divine protection into a devotee's household. The Pushpanjali, the offering of flowers at the deity's feet. And the Tula Bharam, a ritual weighing of the devotee against offerings of sacred materials performed for health and the removal of misfortunes caused by past karmas.
The great festivals.
Thiravellattu Mahotsavam, the birthday of the Lord. The grandest festival of the Vishnumaya calendar is the Thiravellattu Mahotsavam, the celebration of Lord Vishnumaya's divine birthday. At the Peringottukara Devasthanam, this is a 9-day extravaganza that transforms the entire region. The festival begins with a dramatic flag hoisting, followed by a ceremonial procession in which the idol of Lord Vishnumaya is brought out alongside the idol of the founder priest, Thrivellamutappan, because the Lord himself has commanded that his beloved founding devotee must always be honored first. For 7 days, a continuous musical program is held to delight and honor the deity. Each of the 7 days sees a new kalam, a floor portrait, created with devotion and reverence. On the final day, the most sacred day, the magnificent Roopakalam of Lord Vishnumaya himself is drawn. This is the most elaborate, most carefully executed kalam of the entire festival. Devotees believe that witnessing this final Roopakalam and receiving its prasad grants deliverance from every burden they carry. Then the deity himself, through the ecstatic divine dance of the Velichapad, sets his feet upon the Roopakalam, sanctifying it with his living presence. And in that divine dance, the Lord reveals something extraordinary, the auspicious date for the next year's Thiravellattu. The festival itself determines when the next festival will be celebrated. Time is in the hands of the deity. At the Kanadikavu temple, the festival begins with a dramatic kuruvadi procession that departs from the great Thrissur Sri Rama temple. When the kuruvadis arrive at the Kuttichathan Kavu, an anointing ceremony marks the beginning of 3 days of intense celebration, community gatherings, cultural programs, and special Poojas. Totampatu Mahotsavam, honoring the Divine Mother. The Totampatu festival is dedicated to Bhuvaneshwari, the Divine Mother in whom Vishnumaya Maya resides, and the family deity of the Kanadi family, who were responsible for the deity's arrival at Peringottukara. During this festival, the idol of Bhuvaneshwari Devi is brought from the inner sanctum, and a magnificent kalam of the goddess is created on the ground. Hundreds of devotees gather to witness the hymns chanting the goddess's glory. It is a festival of deep, feminine, spiritual power. Kumbha Bharani, the Palakkad festival. At the Kaliyuga Sri Vishnumaya temple in Palakkad, the great festival is the Kumbha Bharani Arattu Mahotsavam, celebrated in the Malayalam month of Kumbham under the Bharani star. This day is the birth anniversary of the ancient founding priest, Sri Ariyali Velayudan Pujari, making it both a temple festival and a commemoration of human devotion and lineage. The celebration includes a grand arattu, a ceremonial bathing of the deity, in the sacred waters of the nearby Bharathapuja, the Nila River. Traditional temple art forms performed by renowned artists from across Kerala fill the festival grounds with color and cultural richness. Pathutsavam, the consecration anniversary. In the Malayalam month of Midunam, on the star Uthram, the Kanadikavu temple celebrates its consecration day across 3 festive days. This Pathutsavam is observed in the month of Tulam in a grand traditional manner.
Pariharas, divine remedies. Perhaps no aspect of these temples touches more lives than the Pariharas, the divine remedies prescribed for specific problems in devotees' lives. The system at Vishnumaya temples is sophisticated and ancient. A devotee does not simply arrive and offer a generic prayer. The tradition holds that different problems require different specific rituals, and the matching of problem to remedy is itself considered a sacred science. For those suffering from Shathrudosham, the affliction caused by enemies or those who wish them harm, the prescribed Parihara is often an intense Guruthi ritual combined with a Brahmavellattu karmam designed to neutralize the negative energy sent against the devotee and return protection. For families troubled by persistent illness, financial ruin, or inexplicable bad luck, the priests perform a detailed consultation, examining the horoscope, listening to the history of troubles, and often consulting the deity directly through niyogam to determine whether the root cause is a graha dosham, a family curse, an unfulfilled ancestor vow, or the effects of black magic. For those seeking the return of lost love or the reunion of separated family members, specific sevas invoking the deity's power over Maya and illusion are performed. The logic being that Vishnumaya can dissolve the illusions and ego barriers that keep people apart. For business failures and blocked financial transactions, the Vellattu karmam is particularly recommended, a ritual said to remove the unseen obstacles that block prosperity from reaching a household. For those struggling with marriage delays, fertility issues, career obstacles, or property disputes, each problem has its designated offering and its specific day, Tuesdays being the most powerful day for Kuttichathan worship across all temples. And for those who have received prasad, the sacred powder from the Roopakalam, this itself is considered a potent parihara, a divine medicine for the soul. The God who favors the forgotten. Visuals: common people at temple, farmers, laborers, elderly women. Shots of diverse devotees, all castes, all religions. One of the most beautiful and important truths about Vishnumaya Kuttichathan is this: he does not discriminate. Unlike many deities who were historically associated with particular castes or communities, Vishnumaya welcomes every devotee, regardless of caste, creed, or religion. Muslims visit, Christians seek his blessing. The wealthy and the destitute kneel before the same idol. The Kanadikavu temple is described as a refuge center for the poor, a title that speaks volumes about the deity's orientation toward the suffering, the marginalized, and the overlooked. This accessibility is rooted in his very mythology. He was raised by a tribal woman. He grew up among common people. He understands human suffering from the inside. He is not a distant cosmic emperor. He is the divine child who runs toward you when you cry. He is also unique in another way. Unlike many powerful deities, Vishnumaya is considered easy to please. His devotees say you do not need elaborate wealth or social status to reach him. A sincere heart and the proper offering is enough, and sometimes simply calling his name. Visiting the temples. If you are planning a pilgrimage to the Sri Vishnumaya Kuttichathan temples of Kerala, here is what you should know. The Kanadikavu temple in Peringottukara, Thrissur district, is the most celebrated. It is located approximately 20 kilometers southwest of Thrissur city. The nearest railway station is Thrissur, from where buses and taxis run regularly to Peringottukara. The Cochin International Airport at Nedumbassery is about 54 kilometers away. Temple timings. Gates open at 5:30 in the morning. Poojas are held at 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Then again in the afternoon from 4:30 p.m. with the beautiful Deeparadhana at 7 p.m. The best time to visit is between October and March, when Kerala's weather is cool and pleasant. The monsoon months of June to September bring heavy rainfall, which makes some temple areas difficult to access. If you wish to book specific pujas or darshan appointments, especially for niyogam or special festivals, always contact the temple office in advance. During the Thiravellattu Mahotsavam period, the temple sees massive crowds and pre-booking is essential. Dress traditionally and respectfully. Most temples require men to wear a mundu and enter without a shirt. Women should wear a sari or traditional salwar. Come with an open heart, a sincere spirit, and leave your skepticism at the entrance, because this is a place where something very old and very powerful has been held alive for 4 centuries. We began this journey with a question. Who is this mysterious deity who answers before you even finish your prayer? We have walked through his extraordinary mythology, his divine birth from Shiva and Parvati's cosmic union, his childhood under a tribal woman's love, his bold journey to Kailash, his defeat of the invincible demon. We have stepped inside temples that are over 400 years old, temples that have held a sacred flame burning through empires, through modernization, through everything that tried to extinguish the ancient ways. We have sat with the stories of the black magic wars fought not in darkness, but in light, with ritual, with mantra, with the unshakable belief that this boy god riding his black buffalo can see through every illusion, dissolve every curse, and restore what the world took from you. We have witnessed festivals where the deity himself dances to tell you when to celebrate him next year,